So I'll run you through what happened. So when we were confirming the chat for today, I received a message back from the farmer letting me know that just thinking about the interview was causing panic attacks and that the anxiety of it was just a bit too much. The farmer didn't believe they would be able to go through with the chat. This is something that we run into more often than people would think, isn't it?
It is.
We weren't supposed to be here today, were we, mate?
No, we were supposed to be on another road trip to visit some farmers, this time about the Western Renewables Link.
Didn't quite go to plan, did it?
It did not.
3, 2, 1.
So this week was another reminder as to why we have to be so mindful of what we are trying to bring to a wider audience, and that it can be invasive and hurtful to those that we talk to, and that sometimes there's a lot more going on than we are shown.
Definitely.
Sometimes that is shown through anger, sometimes it's through disappointment, and sometimes it is through anxiety. The mental health side of what is going on in regional Australia at the moment is being completely ignored by governments and energy corporations alike as they push through with their goals, targets, and money grabs.
Yeah. No matter what, they don't care.
No matter what.
It doesn't appear that they give a shit.
It's why people like Anita Donlan at Let's Get Rural are playing such a vital role in the well-being of regional Australia, not just now, but for the last 10 years. Thanking, listening, nurturing, understanding and helping those that she meets around regional communities. And it's why the Farmers' Lunch on the 5th of July, this coming Sunday, at Pier 35 is so important, so that these farmers can continue to make new friends and grow the support that is imperative to show the government that at some point community does matter, that farming matters and agriculture matters. So be there if you can. Links to where to get tickets are in the description, or go to www.1000paddocks.org. So earlier this year, mate, I was lucky enough to attend the Across Victoria Alliance conference.
You really enjoyed that, didn't you?
Yep. And next year we will both go.
Yep. You met a lot of bright people and it made you feel small.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah. Incredibly intelligent people. It was an eye-opener. I listened to a lot of presentations talk about future impacts to agricultural land and landowners, from wind to solar to rare earth mineral mines, nuclear, gas, coal, legislation changes, unmitigated greed, and even heard a lack of compassion and understanding from sitting MPs. Well, one MP in particular that was there.
The only one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that ended up getting booed. Here's a grab of what we heard in relation to the WRL.
It's been a tough slog and I get quite emotional. Actually, we're currently in our EES at the moment for the WRL. Last Monday, my husband and I gave our personal submission, and 10 days before that, I did a submission on behalf of the community. I can't tell you how much energy that took and how hard it was to sit there and not cry, because after, I could do it now, 5.5 years of being told, just wait for the EES, you'll get your say. Well, we had our say and it went nowhere. However, we've done a pretty good job of stopping it. We're bordering on 6 years and not one sod has turned, not one thing has been built. I still don't even actually have approval. And I have to say it is thanks to our community, our amazing community of where I live, and what we got together and put together. We've had to put up with so much and it's impacted our mental health. I can't tell you how hard it's been, and it's really important to look after your family and your friends and make sure that check in that they are all right. We went to court. We worked out a way to go to court. We worked a way to stop AusNet. The day before we were due in court, the Victorian government changed the law. The day before, because they recognised our argument was going to win, and they knew that we would win and that they couldn't do what they were proposing to do. Lily D'Ambrosio enshrined, my husband calls it a Henry VIII law, she enshrined the WRL project into law. That was it. We were done. We were blown out of the water. We'd raised all this money. We'd got started. We were home and hosed. We couldn't believe, where we're at. Anyway, it went on and on and on. We found a new loophole, so we went down that rabbit hole. We joined with V&I West again, which was that by this time, this is pushing into 3-4 years along. V&I West came on board and assisted us as well, because suddenly it wasn't a project bringing power from Bulgana or around the Ararat region into Melbourne. It was actually a project connecting the eastern port states. And another spin, which we talk about a lot, telling us lies and telling us stories. We went to court again. We lost. We went again. We lost. And same thing happened every time we got close. They changed the law. the government, I don't think they've got many more laws so they can change. I think they've taken away all our rights to protest. VCAT's gone, all those things have gone. But they haven't taken away our heart. And I can see today that you're in the same boat we are, that we feel as a people power, we've still got a chance of holding this out. They've changed the way they access our properties. Currently, our access is all on hold because we're in an EES hearing phase. So when you're in a hearing phase, the barristers don't want the proponent to do anything bad, and that means they can't come on your property. So I've had 17 weeks of reprieve there, which has been lovely, but a lot of stress of listening to online rubbish that AusNet spill about us and the community and downplay our concerns. When you read an EES, and I wouldn't read ours because it's 10,000 pages and we haven't had time to actually read the whole thing, it downplays any concerns that we have. It scales them back. It says everything is low. Our fire likeliness is low. They try to mitigate things. They say to me, you can plant trees so you don't have to look at the power line. And I'm like, you've got obviously no idea of who I am and why I live here, why I married my husband, because I have this view. So, there's some really common sense things that they missed.
So that little video shows it all, doesn't it, really, mate? A 6-year fight, the anxiety it has caused, you can see it in Emma. She's obviously anxious. The stonewalling from the government, the changing of legislation, the empty promises of the EES, of which legislation has changed again before the findings were published, a complete and utter waste of time, mate.
I mean, how is it even legal that they can just change their legislation to win a court case that they were going to ultimately be defeated in?
Because this government believes they can do anything, mate. But they're the ultimate socialist government.
That is just...
It's disgraceful.
It's just wrong. It's just so wrong, mate.
It is. I agree, mate.
It should never happen.
No.
They shouldn't be able to just change laws
to suit
themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Because what is that? That's tyranny, mate. That's not... That's all that is. It's tyrannical.
Yeah, exactly right. So we want to stress that it was not Emma that we were going to see this week. It's another farmer who wants to and should remain anonymous, but it was not Emma we were going to see. So I'll run you through what happened. So when we were confirming the chat for today, I received a message back from the farmer letting me know that just thinking about the interview was causing panic attacks and that the anxiety of it was just a bit too much. The farmer didn't believe they would be able to go through with the chat. This is something that we run into more often than people would think, isn't it?
Yes.
There's more people that don't want to talk to us in the end than do. I mean, because they get too emotional.
Yeah. I mean, it might just be our
or it might be us.
Our interviewing techniques or
skills,
lack of.
Yeah, exactly right. It could
especially me.
Well, both of us, mate. Yeah. It isn't our aim to cause stress or anxiety. We want to support the mechanism and not be a contributor to the issues. So that is fine with this farmer. We offered support and made a few suggestions and a few options for them going forward, but no pressure ever to talk to us.
No.
Yep, that's not our aim to get a story at any cost. It was in this farmer's opinion that since the EES ruling, there's no real point, that the government can't be stopped, and they want to focus on what's most important to them, right? Their farm, their family, and supporting their community. And the farmer used a quote that really hit home with me.
Sure, that's very good. Very good.
The quote reads, "God gives me the strength to change what I can, gives me the humility to accept what I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference." And from there, this farmer said they feel that they can't change a major government infrastructure project, but that doesn't mean they have to accept them happening either.
Well said.
So the anxiety's there, but the fight is diminished.
And
that means you're just accepting, unfortunately, in this case, what is coming, and you're just preparing yourself
post transmission lines.
Yeah.
What's their best result?
Yeah.
So they're assuming it's going to happen because of the way this government play is not by the rules.
Yeah.
And ultimately they're going to get what they want.
Yeah. Now, this farmer behind the scenes, I'm sure they're doing all they can to fight it. And this particular person is extremely intelligent and articulate and has put their point of view forward many times. But I think a backroom role might be better for them right at the moment because it builds up. The anxiety builds up, mate.
It would be hell. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I would have backbone enough to fight him. I really don't. The pain he goes through and you the mental anguish is just hell.
That's what people don't understand.
It's hell.
Yeah, we go and see a few people in Crookwell and they present on camera as normal people. Off camera, a lot of them are emotional about what is going on. Yep, and that emotion, like I said, comes out in different ways. So there you've got it. The government is running over the tops of communities with no regard for the consequences. We are yet to meet a community that isn't facing mental wellbeing challenges when it comes to this issue. Not one. All caused by the government allowing foreign corporations to maximise their returns by putting their projects nearest to transmission lines. Bugger the consequences. These people are not important. Problem is these people are important and they are rising up. There are farmers that might find it difficult to express themselves to us, but when it comes time, they will stand their gate and no one will be taking their land come hell or high water. There are farmers that will not let people through onto their land.
Yeah, quite right.
Yep. They don't care what the consequences are. For them, the principle of somebody taking their land is too much.
Yep.
They will not allow it.
Yep. And I agree with them.
Exactly right. Straightforward. So I want to tell you all a little story that happened to me in February this year. I had a little run-in with someone from the Climate Council earlier this year. It got a bit ugly, and I haven't been able to talk about it since on our channel for fear of me blowing up. But today I'm going to tell the story without trying to blow up. We were discussing wind farm lifespans, particularly with regard to what will happen to the wind farm near Portland now that it's reached end of life.
Yep.
28 or so turbines. Will it be removed by the Chinese Power Corporation as promised? Will it be recycled or sent to landfill? The gentleman I was talking to was arguing that the towers will be pulled down, serviced, and repurposed to the point where there'll be little waste and they'll be able to be used again in another project. I called bullshit. I don't think I've seen that happen once.
No.
The argument got heated. He ended up saying that he was sick and tired of hearing landowners whinging and complaining about wind farms, and he hoped they all went and spent some time in their sheds. And then he said, don't forget the rope. And it tipped me over the edge.
Yep.
And
fair enough.
And the people that were supporting him either turned their back or told him to shut his mouth. Yep. Because everybody knew in that room what he was saying.
Yep.
He was lucky to be able to walk out of that room.
He just went too far.
Yep, exactly right. So next time you're reading the Climate Council propaganda, and currently that explains how data centres will increase energy use exponentially and that the government needs to enforce standards and increase renewable energy projects to avoid worsening climate impacts, think about the true motivation of these ghostwriters and who are too scared to put their names to their actions. So aside from Anita's brilliant work with Let's Get Rural, where they move from rural community to rural community with only one purpose, and that's being to entertain, to have a laugh and a chat, what mental health assistance is in place for communities? Where's Mark Butler and Emma McBride, our MPs for health? The federal MPs.
Nowhere to be seen.
Exactly right. They should be standing alongside Bowen and Watt when these projects are being discussed, mate, because there are impacts.
There's definitely impacts. And a lot more than anybody knows.
Absolutely. Where's Ingrid Stitt, the Victorian Minister for Mental Health? Or is she too focused on her Ministry for Multicultural and Multi-Faith Services? Because that's another one of her tasks. And her other ministry duties to put any time or effort into the impacts of regional communities when it comes to renewables. Because I didn't know who Ingrid Stitt was, mate.
No, that's the first time I've heard of.
Yep, exactly right. Don't know her at all. At least VicGrid are acknowledging that there is an issue. They offer support through mental wellbeing through regional communities. You can talk to qualified mental health and medical practitioners or professionals in a safe and private setting about issues such as stress, anxiety or low mood, family pressures and relationship concerns, financial distress or impacts on your livelihood, trouble sleeping or coping with change, grief and loss, increased use of alcohol or other substances, environmental stresses like noise, dust and disruption, and construction impacts. So I'll put up on the screen what they offer. There are up to 6 free sessions, which is similar to what you get through most workplaces these days, right?
But isn't it isn't it like talking to the enemy?
No, it's not talking to them, and they don't know who it's talking. It's talking to professionals. They're nominated to professionals that you can give. It's a bit like calling a lifeline or something like that, except if you want to, you can go and sit down and meet with some people and get some professional advice. At least there's something. Now, the people we've met, they're not taking this option up.
No.
They're congregating into their communities to fight.
Yep.
They're not interested in talking to somebody about the stress it's putting on them.
Yep.
Yeah.
They want to just fight.
They want to take it on.
That's all they want to do. They want to put all their concentrations on fighting.
So those that think there is no impact, please think again. Think of the communities like those around Colbinabbin, through the Wimmera, around Crookwell, near Walker, the Latrobe Valley. There's a lot of issues in Margaret River at the moment, in central and northern Queensland, through the wilderness of Tasmania, and even through Bundy in South Australia. We hear you all, we support you all, and know that your fight is now a national fight, that your communities are drawing together as one, that your voices have never been louder. So don't give up. We can win the battle to save our food, our land, our heritage, and our communities.